I'm Eric. This is Harry. And if you have a male cat, you should probably watch this video. Because a few days ago, I almost lost him to a urinary blockage. And looking back on the last couple weeks, I do realize now there were signs and symptoms that I completely misread as Harry just being Harry. You know, typical male territorial cat stuff. I was wrong. So I'm gonna put the symptoms on the screen in the order that they happen because I want you to see how quickly this can progress. That way, if your cat starts showing any of these signs, hopefully you can catch it before it gets to where Harry did. Spare your cat a buttload of pain and potentially save yourself thousands of dollars in vet bills at the same time. So about 2 weeks ago, Harry started marking and urinating more often, especially outside of the litter box. And honestly, at that point, there was still time to catch what was happening before it became an actual emergency. Then Monday, things took a turn. The trips became more and more frequent, while the amount of urine coming out became less and less. At the same time, he was constantly licking and grooming himself. I knew something wasn't right, and I told myself that if he couldn't produce a normal amount of urine soon, we were going to the emergency vet. Then later that night, he finally did. He produced what looked like a normal amount of urine with one pretty major caveat. There was a pinkish hue to it and a small bladder stone. But at that point, I thought we had gotten lucky. I thought he had passed whatever was causing the problem. Boy, was I wrong. The next morning, I woke up and I couldn't even find him. Eventually, I found Harry tucked into a corner underneath the couch, and he was dramatically worse. He had completely stopped producing urine. He wasn't even really going into the litter box anymore. He would just squat wherever he happened to be, strain, and nothing would come out. At that point, his entire behavior had basically been reduced to three things: trying to pee, constantly grooming himself, and lying on his side, pulsing in agony. He let me feel his abdomen, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. His bladder felt like the size of a baseball, and that was it. I immediately took him to the vet. Within about 15 minutes, the office manager came back into the exam room with a bill and two options. Option A, attempt the surgery, catheterize him, and try and relieve the blockage with no guarantee they'd even be able to successfully clear it. And option B, I sit with him, keep him comfortable, and say goodbye. So Harry just turned 1. Needless to say, I told him to do the surgery. And thankfully, they were able to remove the blockage. Harry made it through, and he's healing slowly. And then came the bill. $3,000 up front, no payment plan, and this is incredibly hard for me to say, but I was laid off in April, and I'm simply not in a position to where I can absorb something like this. Never in a million years did I think I'd be coming to the internet to ask people for money, but it's Harry. He just turned 1. I mean, he's basically still, he's a kid. I had to give him a shot. So I started a GoFundMe. Now, if you're able to donate, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. If you're not able to donate, I completely understand, but please, please share this video. Help me get it in front of as many eyes as possible. I just want to get Harry home and healthy. And if you have a male cat and you notice any of these symptoms that I listed in the video, the frequent urination, the straining, the smaller and smaller amounts of urine, excessive grooming, blood in the urine, the hiding, especially the inability to pee at all, please take immediate action, because I learned the hard way just how quickly this can become life-threatening. And it could save your baby's life. It could save you thousands of dollars in medical bills.